Congratulations to Pitt. I thought they did a good job. Here tonight. Obviously finishing the game. Just throughout. I thought going through the contest. We got off to a good early start. We were able to establish the run. Had to hit some big plays there early. I thought our defense came out playing with a lot of energy. Unfortunately, we had a couple guys that went down throughout the contest. Had to work to adapt and adjust. A couple things there just within the game plan. Really kind of got overwhelmed a little bit by their defensive forcing unit. They did a good job of creating pressure. Really wasn't able to get anything established there in the second half. You had a couple turnovers. Just was not able to reestablish the run game. They did a good job in some of their pressure packages with how they were attacking us, and then missed out on a couple opportunities there on the perimeter, and just we lacked the explosive play. After the long run from Jordan there early in the contest. I thought our guys continued to fight. I was really pleased with our defense, even being able to get that goal line stand there to force them to field goal. I thought our guys continued to have good energy throughout, trying to do everything they could to make that play, to kind of give us that boost there in the second half. I felt good being able to get points going into halftime, but unfortunately we weren't able to get anything started. Put the defense in some really bad situations tonight. Just with field position and some turnovers that we committed, and right now we're just not in that place. Within our program, we were able to overcome the negatives that are showing up there offensively, and we just got to be able to find a way to get into a rhythm and to be able to move the ball down the field consistently with what we're trying to do.
All right, first question will be Antoine Staley from Tallahassee Democrat.
Coach, last 3 games, really, you've had problems scoring after halftime. You only had 2 points in all 3 of your games after halftime. Is it something, what is kind of contributing to that?
There's a lot of things that are contributing. Early in the last 2 games, scoring down in the red zone we've really struggled there in the second half. Just consistency. Things have showed up like penalties. Being in long yardage situations tonight was turnovers and having negative plays that showed up. And right now we're young up front, and that was a very experienced. It's the best defensive line. That we place when it comes to creating pressure and getting to the quarterback, and they were able to. We tried to mix it up with screen game and doing different things to try to help us out, especially when we had a couple guys go down. But they were able to get those negative plays, and when we're in those longer yardage situations, they're able to tee off on us a little bit more, and we weren't good enough to overcome that here tonight.
Is there anything you can tell us about Jordan's status? And also, even after the first couple of drives, it seems like even with him at quarterback, the offense kind of had some self-inflicted mistakes. How was he playing even before he went down?
I thought Jordan was playing well. They got some pressure on him there in the second quarter, and we had some negative plays that showed up, and that's where that was a challenge. We knew coming into the game that we needed to try to stay ahead of the change. Keep those manageable situations. We missed out on a couple of. Third and a couple fourth down, opportunities that end up, being really big in the course of the game. But we just we have to continue to work on our consistency. I thought Jordan, did some good things. Obviously they got some pressure, forced him out of the pocket. Had to try to extend things with his hand or with his legs. There was a few opportunities where that decision of being able to throw the ball away once you break the pocket, then rather than take the negative. Those are all learning experience. Those are all things that we have to continue to harp on. We got to continue to help him grow in that. But I thought he did some good things. The early. Made some throws. Obviously was able to have a couple dynamic plays. There as a runner, and so I thought he was playing solid. We just the negative plays really kind of stacked up against us.
Next will be Chris Meade from Knowles 247.
How much did the loss of Devontae Love-Taylor hurt that group in the sense of being a common voice on the field when things were going sideways?
Devontae is, he's our captain up front. He's been such a consistent player for us. He is great with communication. With what we ask those guys to do. He is like you said, a calming voice with the experience that he has. He's done an extraordinary job throughout this year. When he went down, just continued to thrust more youth into the game. Darius Washington came in. He's been dealing with an injury for the last about 4 weeks. So this was kind of his first extended work back. And Darius is still a freshman, and there's some things there's some things that we're still learning, as an offensive line group. But these guys they're working extremely hard to improve, and I appreciate the competitive spirit that they have. I appreciate the work that they're investing, and we definitely have better days ahead. But obviously it was a big hit when Devontae went down.
Next will be Kurt Weiler from Tallahassee Democrat.
Coming out of half, obviously, at some point, I don't know if you knew going into halftime, if we knew Jordan was going to be unavailable the rest of the way. I guess what was the decision to go James first and then quickly change to Trevor? Was it hoping James would be able to spark something that he wouldn't, or?
Yeah, obviously Jordan was getting evaluated there, throughout halftime, and we got word that he wasn't going to be available for the second half, and so we went with James just with his experience, and you were hoping for a spark. We knew that had a plan to be able to get Chuba in as well. As we kind of going into the second half when we found out that Jordan wasn't going to be available, and obviously we had the turnover there on the first drive. Gave them a short field, which they were able to turn into a quick touchdown, and then obviously we decided to go with Chuba from that point. Continuing to to bring the threat with not only with his arm but with his legs as well, and it was a challenging situation to get put into as a freshman, and obviously there's a lot of things that we're going to have to grow and learn from, but I thought Chuba's demeanor and obviously communication throughout the second half of what he's seeing. I mean, he's I like his presence. I like the things that he does. It's just gotta learn, and it's like I said, it's a challenging group to go against with their forcing unit. In a situation where we got to where we were having to throw the ball, a little bit more, there later in the contest.
Next will be Barry from Tomahawk Nation.
Coach, we saw kind of the determination to stand that the defense took on that goal line stop when they forced that field goal. What do you think is the obstacle stopping the team from consistently doing that? What, even coming off the bye week, not being able to see that consistent effort and determination to execute what you all asked them to do?
I mean, I think as you go, I thought the effort. I thought our guys played hard. I mean, I didn't see an effort issue tonight. There's been times throughout this year where that has been in question. But I thought the guys really worked hard to compete. I mean, even when things were not good there late, their attitude, their approach, something that I am proud of them for. I mean, they're working in practice. We know that we've got some things that we have to continue to improve on. We still missed too many tackles. We had a couple of explosive plays that obviously we can't have. But I thought the defense got put in some challenging situations with short fields. They responded. I mean, there was a couple times they got stops holding Pitt to field goals. But at the end of the day, we have to consistently work to be a better tackling team. We got to consistently work to be able to move the ball offensively, so those guys aren't on the field as much, and we are definitely a work in progress.
Next will be Arizona Hunter Danny from Morgan.
At first sort of glance, Coach, walk downfield, or we're going to be gun shy, or did not have the guys not playing one-on-one?
I'm sorry, bud. You kind of broke up a little bit. Can you ask that again?
Chuba, his performance, was it him being gun shy, not stretching down the field, or were guys not getting open on first sort of impression from you?
Yeah, there was probably a little bit of both. I mean, obviously they did a good job of creating pressure, with their pressure packages. We were trying to mix it up with there 6 or 7 man protections, trying to move the pocket. There were times that we had a couple opportunities, but it was, like I said, it was a challenging situation for a young quarterback to go into. I thought there was a couple things that he saw. Obviously interception was not he saw the rotation, just didn't locate the ball where it needed to be, and that's something that I was glad that he saw it, but obviously we got to work on the execution of being able to deliver the ball in the right location, and so I mean we missed some opportunities, and obviously they did a good job of getting pressure on him at times, and then there was times that we got to be better in all phases there.
We'll go back to Ira from Postgame.
Could you talk about the thought process of going 4-on-4 down a couple of those times? You talked about the short field you guys gave to their offense.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you had to fit, right?
well, I mean, really everything for us, we use metrics and analytics and all those situations, and it's something that it's a calculated decision, and we're obviously going out there to working to win the game, to put ourselves in the best position to achieve success, and we missed a couple of those opportunities on we had a fourth and short, I think it was 4th and 2, and then we had a 4th and 6 that was kind of right at that threshold on the positive in the positive side of the field. Unfortunately we had the negative on that play, which really hurt us as well with field position, but that's something that we look at in every game, and from how we manage the clock to what we're doing. I mean, it's something that I spend a lot of time, and obviously we believe in putting our guys in the best position that we possibly can, and unfortunately that didn't work out for us in a couple of those opportunities there in the first half.
We'll go back to Kurt from the Democrat.
I know there was a sense of maybe a little bit of hope of getting maybe a couple guys on defense back this week, and not the fact like you were without a couple other guys who had played recently. I guess especially the guy like Marvin, when you find out he was going to be unavailable this week, and how does that kind of change things? How do you see the defensive line especially deal without him?
Well, that was something. Marvin's been dealing with a few things just throughout this year, and we knew that this week obviously he was going to be unavailable. Just something that we've known, had a pretty good sense of for the last week and a half, I'd say. But I thought the D line, they went out, they battled. I thought they worked hard to they're up front. I thought we played with better pad level. I thought they came off the ball. I saw some knockback and some good things that showed up there in the run game. But it's challenging. I mean, we had our two starting safeties that were out, and then obviously with Marvin and a couple other guys that weren't available, it does put a challenge on the personnel on some of the things that we're able to do rotation wise. But it's also an opportunity for somebody to rise up and to continue to grow and help impact this football team. And I thought that I saw some positive strides there on the defensive front. We just have to continue to work to get better with those opportunities.
All right, we're going to go 3 more. Corey Clark from Woodland.
Yeah, Mike, I was wondering if you could talk about, it seemed like from the second quarter on, the running backs didn't get a ton of carries. Was that part of the game plan? Were they taking that away? Because it seemed like you guys just kind of threw it the next 45 downs, or 35 the next 45 downs.
Yeah, I mean, there were some things with decisions, in some of those situations that obviously we got to continue to make sure that we're going through that at the quarterback spot. With some of the run pass possibilities, some of those were based off what they were doing. Some of the blitz packages that they were bringing an extra hat that was forcing. That was part of our game plan. Is that we didn't want to hand the ball off to a guy that's blitzing there on the line of scrimmage and try to take an opportunity out on the perimeter. And so that's all part of the game plan. Obviously you get behind, you get in longer yardage situations, that's where it hurts you. And when you're sitting there and it's second and 15, third down, third and extremely long, you can't live in that. Trying to take some high percentage passes as well to kind of chip away at some of those, even on the early downs. But obviously that wasn't very good tonight.
All right, we'll go back to Terry from Tomahawk Nation.
It looked like Jordan and a few of the receivers had some miscommunications on a few of the routes tonight. Where do you think that kind of stemmed from, Andrew?
It's something that we knew had a pretty good sense of what we would expect to see. There were some miscommunications, I would guess. From what the quarterback saw. I thought the receivers, they were doing certain different read routes that we have, and so we haven't had an issue with that throughout this year. I think some of the things with the pressure packages and obviously that sense of urgency of trying to get the ball out probably rushed a few decisions there, and it's just something we have to work to get better at.
All right, last one will be Adlon from Warchamp.
Coach, on the telecast, the commentators were talking about the production meeting you had with them the other night, and you talked about this team needs to pretty much face as much adversity as they can to get better. Might even need to get to a bottom to know where they got to go to improve. You mentioned that this was going to be the hardest thing these players were ever going to do if they want to help turn this thing around. Are they getting that idea? Does a game like this reinforce what needs to be done to get things moving in the right direction?
I think our guys, I thought the approach that they brought into the bye week, I thought that the way that they're working to prepare is night and day different. We just have to do a better job of the execution in the moment. And there's certain things that, you look at the roster, you look at the youth that's playing, guys that are kind of being forced into action. We're playing probably 75-80% freshmen or sophomores, at some key positions that's challenging. And but I have seen positive strides. I've seen positive strides in a lot of areas. Obviously, going into halftime, I had a pretty good sense. Going against that defense, and obviously you play a team that has the experience that Pitt has. I thought their quarterback came out and played really well. A guy that's been out the last few games, located the ball. They did a good job of being able to mix it around. But you could see kind of the difference in those two regards. We're playing a defensive front that's got I think 3 of the 4 were redshirt seniors. We're working in that process, and it starts in how we prepare. It starts in how we train. It starts in every aspect of taking the meetings out to the practice field, from the practice field to game day, and we're not as consistent as we need to be in that. And when you're playing good people, that in some of these matchups, that it can expose you. And there was some. I fully thought when we went in at halftime, we were able to get the field goal. We're getting the ball to start the second half. I fully expected to put ourselves in a position to win that game, and unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. We turned the ball over a couple of times. Obviously, we're not able to get any rhythm or any consistency on the offensive side there in the second half, and that's. And that's why the outcome was what it was. But just say, these kids, they are believing. And I am seeing the positive strides. We just have to carry over the consistency of it and applying it, in the course of the game. And some of this experience is ugly right now, and nobody wants to go through what we just went through and finishing a game like that happened. But I believe in these guys. I believe in their development. I believe in where we're going to go. Obviously what we're going to do. It's just that process of the continued investment in every aspect. On the field, off the field, in the classroom, all of it matters. And we're going to do this the right way. And it's just helping to paint the picture of what it is to be successful and what that has to look like. And it's got to be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I believe these guys understand that. They want that. We just have to do a better job of being more consistent in applying that through the course of a game.